capture a game open and full screen. Well, you don't really have to let it register full screen. The reason why I have to let it register full screen is for my game capture. I'm capture anything that's close to the application, so that's why it's permitted to register Minecraft. And you can see since Minecraft right now is not full screen, it's just a small window. It displays a very tiny window on capture screen. If I make it full screen, it's going to fill up all your black and so yeah, this will be how you capture using game capture and display capture, still black screen. And that's your only see it choose wrong graphics card at the beginning and don't freak out everything's normal. All you just switch graphics. And there you have it. So how you fix your OBS Studio display capture black screen or game capture black screen. Probably I should let my screen. So yeah, if you find this video helpful, make sure to leave a like down below. So yeah, this will be how you capture using game capture. And here OBS Studio is currently running a display capture. That's the source I like to use, and that's why you see the screen. If I switch to the game capture full screen, then everything's black because it's not capturing the right thing. That's why it's black. And let's go back here to see it. So the reason why for you to have a black screen display capture or game capture normally, it's because the graphics card. So for display capture, it actually uses the Intel graphics card, which is the graphics card that comes with your first setting, let's just the end. And it's on locate app in the list of app folder, make for desktop app, and then app. Find it, find it, default, right, that one, okay, open, and look at on, it, and that, good, have one here, and see it's running in up, now we're saving out, and I maybe I can here, and you can see it's currently using power saving. So still off power saving, and I didn't, by the way, so this here off what still already you have VS Studio that started by VS Studio and we could and I remember and after I play so I camera here on the play capture but it's black black it's kind of display but from my game capture and my Minecraft minute game so put Minecraft up and let's make it close. So once you start a game, you it so let's Minecraft up and let's make it close. So once you start a game, you again register a game folder and screen. Well, you don't really have to let me register full screen. My game after anything that's application that might get the minute direct to Minecraft. And if you use this Minecraft right now, it's not it is a very nice after screen that make it full screen. I love my black. Yeah, this is how you capture and capture no black and that's it from the beginning and you'll find out every all you do is and there you have it. How you think OBS Studio is play copy black or a copy black. Probably I should let my brain. So yeah, if you like the video, make people like it. So we're gonna try to want to see something like this. Driver and see you next time. Bye. I need to money quickly. Traditional.
What is up, y'all? It's the Eric B. Stream Teaching, and if you just got a PlayStation 5, congratulations. I know you waited a long time, but now you finally got it. You want to stream Twitch, but you ran out of money. You can't buy a capture card now. I'm going to tell you how to stream to Twitch without using a capture card and without using the PlayStation Twitch application, because that thing is it works well, but it's a bit limited in the options that you can use. So within OBS, you have all the mic filters, you can use a bunch of plugins, you can get alerts, and you can really spice up your stream. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. Now, this method that I'm going to show you doesn't give you a quality picture as much as a capture would, but it's still entertaining for your viewers to watch than a direct from console stream without your face on it. Your face that's not very well lit because your PlayStation camera has to be in a certain spot. We bypass all of that. Let's get into it. Classes in session. Alright, so the PS5 Remote Play app is a little bit finicky than the Xbox app, unfortunately, but a good thing about it had to sign in to the same PSN account on my PS5 as I did on the PS Go Play app. So make sure you do that. After you do that, it should find your PlayStation on your network. And this is my PlayStation, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on that. And it should find my PlayStation 5. And before I finish my settings, there it is. So now that we have Spider-Man Miles Morales here, I'm going to click on OBS Studio. And to add that window, you're going to click on the plus sign, and then you'll click on window capture. And you can name this PS5 and click OK. And then you're going to find remoteplay.exe PS remote play, the same title of the window that you're actually playing the PlayStation on. Another thing about this is that you want to keep that remote play window as big as possible so that the resolution is as good as possible. And I like to have my windows in about a 16 by 9 so I don't have to put any black bars around in OBS. But let's just do it at that size. If you do have any black bars in OBS, you can always use Alt on the border and drag it to get rid of those black bars. But anyway, now that we have that there, for some reason, the capture method automatic isn't working right now. So I'm gonna click on Windows 10 and it found the window, and I'm gonna click OK. Now we have PlayStation 5 in OBS without the use of a capture card. What I always like to do is typically look up at my TV, and this screen is strictly for the audience. So I don't really play for my OBS screen. I'm playing for my TV. So any hiccups that might happen, like that nasty hiccup, which is probably caused from me not using an Ethernet cable. This, and it should find my PlayStation 5. And before I finish my sentence, there it is. So now that we have Spider-Man Miles Morales here, I'm going to click on OBS Studio. And to add that window, you're going to click on the plus sign, and then you'll click on Window Capture. And you can name this PS5 and click OK. And then you're going to find remoteplay.exe PS Remote Play, the same title of the window that you're actually playing the PlayStation on. Another thing about this is that you want to keep that remote play window as big as possible so that the resolution is as good as possible. And I like to have my windows in about a 16 by 9 so I don't have to move any black bars around in OBS. But let's just do it at that size. And if you do have any black bars in OBS, you can always use Alt on the border and drag it to get rid of those black bars. But anyway, now that we have that there, for some reason, the capture method automatic isn't working right now. So I'm going to click on Windows 10 and it found the window, and I'm going to click OK. Now we have the PlayStation 5 in OBS without the use of a capture card. What I always like to do is transform and fit to screen, and I have this video recorded in 1080-60, which I should have did for the Xbox video, but I forgot. So this is recording in 1080-60 so you can see the real true frame rate, and this is being played in performance ray tracing mode, so it should be in 60 FPS. Now, this isn't going to beat a capture card, in my opinion, but what it does beat is you streaming directly to Twitch from your PlayStation without the use of any alerts or any of the bells and whistles that come with OBS or Streamlabs or OBS Live or whatever you use, XSplit. This gives you the option to have more control over your stream, more control over your camera, more control over your audio, because you aren't just talking into a headset. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. And honestly, it's running pretty decently right now. And when I do use remote play, I typically look up at my TV, and this screen is strictly for the audience. So I don't really play for my OBS screen. I'm playing for my TV. So any hiccups that might happen, like that nasty hiccup, which is probably caused from me not using an Ethernet cable. This is why you use an Ethernet cable. My Ethernet cable is too far away right now, so I wasn't able to do it, but you may get little hiccups like that. And honestly, while you see that it's not in 60 FPS, like, I feel like Xbox ran a lot better than this when I did that video. But even though it's not running in 60 FPS, it is at a playable frame rate. And it's at a viewable frame rate. And I think that's not too bad. But anyway, happy swinging. And that
Use this time to train a bit. We'll be deploying soon. Enemy soldier nearby.
I'm taking shots!
Enemy dropping into the AO.
What is up, y'all? It's the same on Windows 10. I'm gonna more. So make sure you do that. After you do that, it should find your PlayStation on your network. And so now that we have Spider-Man, you're gonna click on the plus sign, and then you'll click on window capture, and you can name this PS5. And click OK, and then you're going to find remoteplay.exe PS remote play, the same title of the window that you're actually playing the PlayStation on. Another thing about this is that you want to keep that remote play window as big as possible so that the resolution is as good as possible. And I like to have my windows in about a 16 by 9 so I don't have to move any black bars around in OBS. But let's just do it at that size. And if you do have any black bars in OBS, you can always use Alt on the border and drag it to get rid of those black bars. But anyway, now that we have that there, for some reason, the capture method automatic isn't working right now. So I'm gonna click on Windows 10 and it found the window, and I'm gonna click OK. Now we have the PlayStation 5 in OBS without the use of a capture card. What I always like to do is transform and bit to screen, and I have this video recorded in 1080-60, which I should have did for the Xbox video, but I forgot. So this is recording in 1080-60 so you can see the real true frame rate, and this is being played in performance ray tracing mode, so it should be in 60 FPS. Now, this isn't going to beat a capture card, in my opinion, but what it does beat is you streaming directly to Twitch from your PlayStation without the use of any alerts or any of the bells and whistles that come with OBS or Streamlabs or OBS Live or whatever you use, XSplit. This gives you the option to have more control over your stream, more control over your camera, more control over your audio, because you aren't just talking into a headset. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. And honestly, it's running pretty decently right now. And when I do use remote play, I typically look up at my TV, and this screen is strictly for the audience. So I don't really play from my OBS screen. I'm playing from my TV. So any hiccups that might happen, like that nasty hiccup, which is probably caused from me not using an Ethernet cable. This is why you use an Ethernet cable. My Ethernet cable is too far away right now, so I wasn't able to do it, but you may get little hiccups like that. And honestly, while you see that it's not in 60 FPS, like, I feel like Xbox ran a lot better than this when I did that video. But even though it's not running in 60 FPS, it is at a playable frame rate. And it's at a viewable frame rate. And I think that's not too bad. But anyway, happy swinging. And that is it. Like I said earlier, mine was a little bit jank, but yours might be better depending on your internet connection. And as long as you're looking at your TV, any type of latency that you might see in the remote play app won't affect your gameplay at all. So just try it yourself, and you might have better results than I did tonight. Maybe tonight just wasn't a good night for me. I did like 4 recordings of that previous session, and I kept running into hiccups. So it's not the best it could be, but again, maybe it's because I have Windows 11 beta or something. So it might work out for you. Try it out. It's free. It only takes a few minutes, and you'll see if you can really take your stream to the next level. So if you got any questions, feel free to drop them below. If you want to talk to me on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Old School Saturday, I'm there every one of those days. But if you think this video might help somebody out, feel free to send it to them to benefit them and to benefit them strangers. You can hit my video with a like so it can get recommended. But yeah, that's it. Class dismissed. Shout out to EMP TV. By the way, I sound like Alex Jones. Sound like Alex Jones. By the way, I wanted to say that I won't be on Dead End Gaming this week either, because I'll be being interviewed by Mr. EMP TV, so make sure you
Is your car giving you a field day? Bring it in. We'll fix that.
What's going on, you guys? Today I'm going to be talking about how you can set up your station for live streaming. So I'm talking about with the PlayStation 5. So if you have your hands on a PlayStation 5 and you want to live stream your gameplay content, then stick around for this video right here. We're going to be discussing all the different equipment, all the different tools you need to set up your live stream station. And to begin, I'm going to list out all 12 items you're going to need to set up your live stream station. So the first thing you're going to need is obviously your PlayStation 5. So the next thing after that you'd want to have is a TV. A TV is just about as important as the PlayStation 5. You also want to get an Elgato HD 60S capture card, because in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to do it with a capture card. I already did a video initially on how to do this directly from the PlayStation 5. The next thing you're going to need is a good DSLR or a good mirrorless camera. You can always use one of those little USB cameras. There's a lot from Logitech. They have the Logitech Brio. There's a bunch of those little cameras that you can use alongside a streaming software. For number 5, you want to make sure that you have a good system, a good PC, a good streaming PC. There's certain requirements you want to have when you're getting the PCs. The 6th item you're going to need are 2 microphones. So 2 separate microphones. They could be USB microphones or they could be XLR microphones. You want to have one USB, which is the one you're going to use to connect directly to your PS5, just so you can communicate in chat with people. The other one is what you're going to use to talk to people that are watching your live stream. So you want that one to be a better mic than the one you're using for your chat, because no one's gonna really hear what you're saying besides the people in the chat. So it doesn't have to be of the highest and top-notch quality. But if you want to splurge, go ahead and splurge. There's USB mics of all kinds, of all varieties, cheap ones that from $30 all the way up to $200. You can buy the Blue Yeti and use it with the PS5 as your chat microphone. You can can also buy another one like that and use it as your live stream microphone. You can buy 2 of those. You can buy a cheaper one and an expensive one and pair them. So it's up to you what you want to do. Just get 2 mics. You're going to need them. To go along with those microphones, you're going to need good headphones. So you can use the Arctis 7P. You can use the Pulse 3D headphones. You can use any generic headphones. It doesn't matter as long as it has an aux cord. It needs to be attached. If it's a wired headphone, then it has to have the aux jack. If it's not wired, then you have to buy an aux jack. Next up, you're going to need 2 HDMI cables. So 2 HDMI cables to connect the Elgato HD60S directly between your TV, your PS5, and your PC. So you have to connect all 3 systems to live stream effectively. You're also going to need about 2 directly between your TV, your PS5, and your PC. So you have to connect all 3 systems to live stream effectively. You're also going to need about 2 aux cords. So 2 3.5mm aux cords. One connects between your controller and your headphones, and the other one connects between your controller and the Elgato HD60S, because the Elgato HD60S needs to take audio out of the console and from your party chat and transmit it online, as well as take it from the TV, so in-game sound. So you want to have both sounds going through to your live stream. The last piece that you're going to need, as far as cables are concerned at least, is an aux splitter. So a 2 female end to 1 male end cable. So basically this is how you would split the audio coming out of your TV or out of your games, or you would connect this to the controller to split, the audio coming out of the controller, which is basically the chat and the TV sound or the game sound. So that's how that one works right there. Next up, you're going to need OBS Studio. So OBS Studio is basically the software aspect of this. OBS Studio is going to allow you to stream directly from your console online, or even record your gameplay. It allows you to do a lot of different things, but mostly, to live stream is what people use OBS Studio for. So if you want to learn more about that, let me know down in the description. I will make a more in-depth video about that, because in this video, I'm not going to be talking too much about that. I'm just going to be showing you how it sets up or how it works. Finally, and last but not the least, the most important piece of this entire thing, lighting. Unless you don't care about how lit up your room is going to be when you're live streaming, then make sure you get a good light if you do actually care. There's a lot of cheap versions online, got a lot of ring lights, different versions. For any of the things I talk about, if you want to purchase any of them, all their links are going to be down in the description. So go ahead and check that out. And you know what? Let's begin this setup process. Okay, so we're going to begin the setup process by starting with the HDMI cable. So we're going to connect the HDMI cable between the PlayStation 5 and the Elgato HD60S. That's a very simple connection. You want to make sure that you're connecting from this into the input and then directly into the PlayStation 5. Right there. The next thing we want to do is connect the other end, the output, to the TV. So we use the second HDMI cable for that reason. So right now I have one end connected to the TV, and this end I'm going to connect to the Elgato. So this is going to be the midpoint between the TV and the PlayStation 5. This is what's going to transmit what you're getting out of, console and the TV directly to your computer or your PC. Next thing we're going to do now is connect this entire setup to our system. So our computer, PC, Mac, whatever it is you're using. To do that, we're going to use this input right here, this USB-C input. So this is going to give us real-time feedback, which just means that we're going to see our footage exactly as it appears on the TV. So when you're live streaming, it's going to look exactly the same. When you're recording, it's going to look exactly the same. There's no delay at all. The older Elgato systems used to have, a little bit of a delay, so you'd see it like a few seconds later every time on your, computer than you would on your TV. Okay, so I'm going to make that connection right now. The USB end goes directly into your computer, wherever that is. So I'm just going to plug this directly into my Windows PC, which is just, around the corner here. Okay, so we've got one more connection to do to this HDMI or to this HD60S capture card. So one more thing you want to connect is input sound. So if you want to record, everything coming out of the controller, like party chat, everything, every sound, then you're going to need, just the aux. So 3.5mm aux jack is what you're going to need to, connect this to your controller. So this goes from this point right here to into your controller. Okay, so that's what you want your connections to look like on this end. I don't know if you guys notice right here, my cable or my aux jack is pretty long, but that's because it's cable for this. It is, you're going to be using as your display. And once you have that out the way, you want to kind of get the PS5 out the way as well. Okay, for the next step, we're going to connect all the sound systems. I'm talking the mic, the headphones, everything you're going to be using to communicate between your party. You're going to be playing, online multiplayer games. And also the mic you're going to be using to talk to people, that are watching your live stream. I've got my Artis 7P headphones right here, which is what I'm going to be using for mine. You can use any headphones you want. It doesn't really get the sound out of it. Right here, I've got, they're not required. 1 mil splits it in your headphones. This is just a simple microphone. It's a USB microphone, so all you have to do is plug it into your computer party chat. Like I'm going to be phones, 5, and then to anything, to a computer, to the PlayStation 5, whatever it is you're going to be using. So the mic that I've got is a USB to XLR, so I'm going to connect one end to the mic, this end, and I'm going to connect the other end to the PS5. So all you have to do is make sure you have a USB end, mic with a USB end, and then connect that to your PS5. It can be a $30 mic, it doesn't matter, but use that one for your party. Use the higher end one, get a nicer one, that you want to use for your live stream. All you have to do for this part is just connect it. So just plug it in. That's it right there. Once you have one end connected to the mic, you want to have the second or the other end connected directly to the PS5. So this is the mic you're going to use in your group chat, when you're talking to people, when you're in your party. That's what it is. Right here I've got a DSLR camera. You can also use a simple USB camera like the Logitech C920 or even the Logitech Brio, the 4K Brio. You can use any of those little ones, or you can, go ahead and use a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera like the one I've got right here in my hand. In order to use any of them, you're going to need a USB cable, or if it's a USB camera, a simple USB camera, then just connect the one end to your PC, and that way it becomes the PC's webcam, which is how OBS works. It uses whatever the webcam of the computer is, so you can use your computer webcam. But I'd advise not using that. With this mirrorless camera, you'd want to use a USB cable. So this is the Canon EOS M50. For these kinds of things, for these kinds of cameras, you'd also want to have consistent power supply, because the battery life of these things it's not long enough or good enough to last you for a long session of gameplay. So you don't want to use the battery power, you want to use a consistent power supply. So that's a separate piece that you'd have to get to go with your camera. Most cameras can do this. Most DSLR cameras or mirrorless cameras can do this, but not every single camera can do this. Make sure you're watching for that when you're looking for or shopping for a camera. Right here I've got two cables, the power supply cable, which is going to supply power to the camera, and then the USB cable, which I'm going to connect to my computer so it can use that camera as the webcam. So I'm going to connect the cable in first, the USB cable, and then I'm going to connect the power supply at the bottom there. And we're in business. So I'm going to mount this on a tripod, and we're going to see the end result of everything we've connected so far and go from there. Okay, I'm now done with the connections, and now we're done with most of the hardware related part of this tutorial, and I'm now going to move over to the software related part of this tutorial. So it's not going to take that long. I'm just going to show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go in depth into anything here because I don't want the video to be too long. If you want me to elaborate on any parts of this video, make sure to let me know down in the comment section so I can, make another video about it or more in-depth video about that subject. Okay, so after turning on OBS, which I'm not going to go into detail about in this video, so OBS Studio is the software that I'm going to be using to live stream. There's a lot of videos out there already about the best OBS settings and how to use OBS to get it out there or to get your gameplay live stream out there. If you want to do a video on that, let me know down in the comment section. I'll do a different video explaining the settings or the best settings you can go out with, because it's just going to take too long if I decide to do it right now in this video. So what I'm going to do right now is talk about this entire setup that we've connected right here. Right now we've got everything plugged in. This is the second mic. This is the one I'm going to use to talk to people in the live stream. I'm going to chat, so people can hear what I'm saying. And then the other one, which I showed you guys earlier, is the one I'm going to use to talk to people in the party chat. So right here I've got my little monitor, which is just connected to my PC, my streaming PC. Like I said, you need a PC or a MacBook, a laptop, whatever it is. Mine is just, a simple PC. So thing is, you want to have that, and then you want to also have your camera, kind of positioned in a good place out of the way. So you kind of have it right there. Mine is a mirrorless camera, so I've got the Canon EOS M50 right there. As you can see, it's all on the screen right now. The camera is recording what I'm doing as well as what is on the screen. It's also going to record sound. So all the sound coming out of the gameplay and all the sound coming out of, you know, your mic when you're talking to people in the party and when you're talking to people in the live stream. This is the complete setup. Don't mind that it looks a little janky right now. This is a small room. If you have a larger room, even better for you. And do not forget, lighting is important, as you can see in the video. Sometimes I like it, you know, extra bright, so I turn on double lights. You want it to hit from both ends of the screen, or from both ends of your screen. Your screen should be at the center, and both lights should be on either side of the screen. So one on one side and the other one on the other side, so both lights hit you directly at the center. Another thing you want to make sure you do within the PlayStation 5 in order for it to display, because it will not display if you don't have this setting you know, turned off. So you want to go and disable HDCP. So I'm going to show you guys where to find that right here. Right there. So HDMI and then HDCP. So you see I've got mine disabled already. You want to turn it off. So this basically allows you to record gameplay, stream it, and all that stuff. If you have it turned on, you can. So you don't record movies from Netflix using this system. So you want to make sure this is turned off. Very important as well. And you're basically good to go. You just make sure you have everything connected right, plugged, as I taught you guys throughout the video, and you're good to go. But if you want me to go into more details on any of the subjects, let me know down in the comment section. For example, the camera connections, or the best cameras to use, you know, differences between you and
No.
No problem. If you know the extension you want, just press the pound key. Otherwise, what can I help you with?
Speak to representative.
You're calling about a return, right?
No.
If you know the extension you want, just press the pound key. Otherwise, what can I help you with? Just a moment. Your call may be recorded and monitored. Please enter that 4-digit extension now. Thanks for calling Best Buy at Millennium Mall. Thank you for calling Best Buy. Our national phone operators are ready and willing to assist you. We're open today until 7 p.m. and tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. I see you've placed a few orders with us recently. Are you... Sorry, I didn't get that. Are you calling about your recent order? Say yes or no.
No.
No problem. If you know the extension you want, just press the pound key. Otherwise, what can I help you with?
Speak to representative.
I understand you want to speak with someone. Our Best Buy team members are specialized in different areas. To get you to the right person as fast as possible, please tell me a little more about what you need help with.
Technology.
Sure. What's the general category for the products you need help with? Say TV, home theater, appliance, cell phone, computers, tablets, connected smart home, or say it's none of those.
It's none of those.
Let's get the general category. Say TV, home theater, appliance, cell phone, computers, tablets, connected smart home, or say it's none of those.
Game capture.
I need the general key. Sorry, I'm
Laptop.
having trouble. Just a minute. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling Best Buy in Millennium Mall. Thank you for calling Best Buy. Our national phone operators are ready and willing to assist you. We're open today until 7 p.m. and tomorrow between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. I see you've placed a few orders with us recently. Are you calling about those?
No.
No problem. If you know the on, just press the pound key. Otherwise, what can I help you with?
Technology.
Sorry. Let's try this a different way. Which of these 5 options are you calling about? An existing order, product availability, buying an item.
Capture card. Oh. I think you took and bust your ass, no cap. I was gonna bust out laughing. I said you're good, nigga. You thought I'm tripping up the room. I thought I died. Today, bro.